All right, y'all. So I want to dive right into attachment styles and how it applies to women, and of course with the title, how it applies to the title. So I seen recent comments of people talking about the attachment styles, the ones that women have, or which ones are harder to deal with. And so one of the ones that I seen that was like really noticeable, and I remember is somebody saying that if she is dismissive, and I remember it was in brackets. I believe they put fearful and anxious, I believe, just going based off of what I recall. So bottom line is that with that comment, they were just saying that if she's like this, she's the hardest to deal with. And y'all, I'll probably bring this comment back up again, but I just remembered it now as I was filming. So I just want to go on to say some of the hardest ones to deal with when you're dealing with a woman is going to be fearful avoidant and dismissive avoidant for sure. And remember, if it's fearful avoidant, sometimes it could be attached to other things as anxious avoidant as well, because there's no security. So she's not secured, right? She doesn't have that attachment style with her. And it's just coming back to, again, dismissive, that sorts of stuff. Now, the reasons why these are some of the hardest ones to deal with, because let's say if you're dealing with her and then she becomes dismissive, let's start off with that. What you'll have, and it will backfire oftentimes, but what you'll have is like a woman that might not like what you're saying, and she will kind of dismiss it in a sense of like, okay, I'll just replace you, or okay, this relationship's not a big deal. Now, for all the fellas that end up falling for this and end up trying to prove that it is a big deal, prove that, oh, like there's something worth it here, or please accept me, please make it work, all sorts of stuff of that sort, it's never worth it, because she's already made her mind up to be dismissive. So reality check for y'all is that you're not helping her turn away from dismissiveness. If she's fearful avoidant, we can say you have actually a better chance of helping her if she's fearful and has a willingness to go ahead and be like, oh, okay, I don't have to be scared, I don't have to run away, I don't have to think that it's gonna go wrong like everything that I had with a guy, or like when my ex cheated on me and did this and that, or when I seen my dad leave my mom, right? Something like that. It could be back to inner child, it could be experiences like in any type of way. It could be, anything that's back to like on a subconscious level where it's in her mind and it's a belief that's like ingrained in her. And with healing, a lot of times, if y'all don't know, actually, before I explain this, what a woman needs to feel, just want to go back to dismissive for a second. Also look at being dismissive. It could look like passive aggressiveness coming in. Women biologically, by nature, they are passive. However, the aggressiveness, no, it's not. It's not biological. That would be more for you fellas. Just on the idea of just aggressiveness, just because that's obviously attached to masculinity in a sense. If you're choosing to be, although it could be toxic masculinity, but it's also attached to dominance. So yeah, dominant man, etc. Back to what I was saying. If she becomes passive aggressive, that could lead to a combination of dismissiveness, because what she'll then do is have feelings, have these harsh emotions towards you, feels a way about things, and in a sense like lashing out, right? And when I say lashing out, you're not getting like, oh, full on, okay, you did this wrong, this is how I feel. You're getting more of like, that's why you can't keep me, and that's why I always leave you. Or you might get something like you just can't get it right. Like, it was very simple, I thought you would get it right now, and you know what, I just rather be alone. Or it could literally be worse, where it's like, yeah, I don't really care if things go left right now or we argue, but I got other things to do, I gotta go. And if y'all know how people that are passive aggressive can be, normally there's just like a layer that's on top of the truth, and they kind of bring it out in an aggressive way. So that hence why it's passive, because it's never necessarily direct, and it becomes aggressive when she's in a sense coming at you. I think it's pretty close to when people gaslight somebody, but obviously more on an aggressive tone, let's say. So I say that to say she might do that, and what happens, she might belittle you. And I'll explain how belittling or downplaying you will work, and what you can do to remain, stoic, or remain having control, all that sorts of stuff in a second. Per usual though, don't forget about consultations. I've had a lot of recent people where I've explained what's going on with her being this attachment style and what to do to handle it. And I love when you guys do realize what it is and how to move forward. And I've given some great ways of how to execute a woman like this the situation, y'all. Talk about how to execute the plan of how you cannot have this get to you, which I'm going to explain in a second what you can do so it's not affecting you and you're going to gain leverage. So bottom line is, if you want me to talk to you, explain to you exactly what's going on, and you can get more insight, know how to go about it, have a strategic plan on what to do and get these results that you're looking for or help fulfill your desires, you can do that by clicking the link down below and booking a consultation. And just remember, there's different options. Choose what's going to be the best for you. And don't forget, other products I do have on my website that could definitely help you with your situation. And No Contact Guide and Journal is still on sale. You're saving big. Shout out to everybody that's gotten it and is going to get it. Appreciate it so much. And lastly, especially for the new people, join on Patreon today as a free member and you get exclusive content. There's already some out that you can catch up on. So if you want to do that, go for it. And if you are not on Patreon, join on YouTube membership. Now back to what will happen when this dismissiveness and passive aggressiveness is all coming through. Where it's coming, you have to look at it as in like it's coming at you, but don't necessarily look at it as in like it's a personal thing that you should take personal. Just due to when a female is like this, she normally tends to have an issue with some sort of like communication, some sort of being straightforward, right? Because again, if you're passive aggressive, you're indirect most times. So if we're talking about that part, you definitely would want her to, let's say if she's dismissive, you would definitely want her to tell you, yeah, like maybe I do need some space. I am going through some stuff, that sorts of stuff, and then get her space. Now, if she uses being dismissive, avoidant, then turns it into fearful avoidant, bottom line is that you see there's the avoidant, so it's an issue regardless. However, what I'm trying to say is that when she is avoidant, what it's telling you is that she can switch from one thing to another, but you don't want to fall for, oh, should I fill in and be superhero, Superman, and try to save the day and help her through her emotions? Once she's your girl, once you guys are serious, once she has the willingness of like, dang, let me put my guard down. Let me not let my ego make me shut down and act like I'm good or be tough. Like, let me let the softness and the vulnerability, the cry come through. That's why she will cry for you, because after she does realize that there's no other way, this passiveness and this attachment style is not going to help me, that's where those tears will come from. And before I explain more and elaborate, if y'all want part 2s, let me know. But we're at the end of the video, so I'm just going to say the last things quickly. And so just look at it as in like, you don't want to cause more intense feelings onto her, just meaning that give her the space. If she's not even telling you she needs space, just give that. If you've already attempted to ask her how is she feeling, is she okay, sort of stuff. Now, if it's repetitive or she's fearful, where she's always running, leaving the situation, those are the times where you have to learn to detach even more than you probably already have been trying to or had no choice. Because if she's also fearful avoidant, she's leading to self-sabotage in the relationship. Bottom line, just meaning that she's basically done with the relationship, in other words, or she's seeing her way out and then she's probably going to come back, because fearful avoidance can tend to self-sabotage, but then realize like, don't be fearful, come back, sorts of stuff. Anyways, it all depends still to a degree on the circumstances. And I'll lastly just say, in some circumstances, it doesn't always necessarily work this way where it's always going to be a problem. It might be a problem in the beginning stage, or it might be triggered like the attachment style throughout the relationship, but it could also be worked on and eventually, in a sense, be managed, controlled, and even in a sense not coming back up, at least not as much, let's just say. So it could be definitely worked on and helped, but the healing aspect that I kind of mentioned earlier, I'll explain in other videos, but that's a big component to it being resolved. All right, so that's going to be it. If y'all have questions, let it be known. Don't forget about the links. Love y'all. Make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to y'all very much soon. Bye, y'all.